Anyanwu rejects Board of Trustees directive to swear in Ude-Okoye. Anyanwu criticized this directive, citing the ongoing court case and the expiration of the tenures of about 80% of BoT members who attended the meeting at Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. He also pointed out that he was not invited to the meeting, nor was the national chairman, who is also a member of the Board of Trustees. Anyanwu stated, "I am a member of the BoT. I was not invited to the meeting, and neither was the national chairman. This shows a lot. In any case, the tenure of about 80% of those at the meeting expired in October last year. They are also aware that this matter is in court. Even Chairman Wabara, who was taken to court, sent a representative. Their advice is just that, advice, and it cannot be taken seriously." The Board of Trustees had previously directed the National Working Committee to swear in Sunday Ude-Okoye as the substantive National Secretary, in line with the judgment of the Enugu High Court, which was upheld by the Court of Appeal. This decision was made following an emergency meeting held at Transcorp Hilton Hotel. Board of Trustee Chairman Senator Adolphus Wabara, who read the communique, emphasized that the board had thoroughly considered the matter and adopted the recommendations of the Saminu Turaki-led committee. Wabara noted that the committee had examined the court judgments on the dispute between Senator Anyanwu and Honorable Ude-Okoye over the National Secretary position. The Board of Trustees, after reviewing all submissions and relevant court judgments, recognizes Honorable Sunday Ude-Okoye as the substantive National Secretary of the PDP in full compliance with the declaratory judgment of the Enugu High Court, upheld by the Court of Appeal, Wabara stated. The PDP has been embroiled in a leadership crisis exacerbated by the fallout from the 2023 general elections, despite the Court of Appeal's December 2024 ruling affirming Ude-Okoye, Anyanwu's loyalists, resisted the decision, leading to tensions within the party. Matter escalated on January 28 when Anyanwu's supporters disrupted a Board of Trustee meeting, forcibly ejecting Ude-Okoye before security personnel restored order. In response, PDP governors, led by Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, endorsed the court's ruling and called for immediate implementation by the National Working Committee. Wabara noted that the Board of Trustees decision was based on the report of a committee chaired by Barrister Kabiru Turaki, which thoroughly reviewed the legal and constitutional aspects of the matter. Let me start with you, Chris. What do you make of the story?
Well, it's unfortunate that the PDP, the leading opposition party in Nigeria, is immersed in a political crisis. Just 2 years to the general election. And I don't see the possibility of them resolving this crisis. Now there is internal wrangling. I don't know what time they will resolve this crisis to enable them plan to unseat or to win the presidential election. I don't want to say that there are unseen hands from the ruling party in the PDP that is responsible for the crisis in the PDP. But from what Anyanwu said, the role of the BoT is clearly stated. It's an advisory role. They do not have power to mandate. It's the National Working Committee of the party that have the sole responsibility to implement or to take decision. The BoT is to advise. So when I saw some person jubilating that, BoT has taken a stand and that is the position of the party, that's not true. You advise. You know, when you have advisory role, it is left for the person whom you are advising
to choose to implement or not.
So as it is now, the BoT only have advisory role. And Anyanwu raised a very serious issue that 80% of members of BoT's tenure have
expired October last year.
What it means is that as it stands, the BoT is not properly constituted. And an improperly constituted BoT is advising. So in the first place, that that meeting is not properly constituted. He raised another issue that the chairman of the party, who is also as critical as the chairman of the national chairman of the party, was not at that meeting. Not that he chose not to. He was not invited. He was not invited. What it means, and it is the duty of the national chairman of the party to swear in the national secretary of the party. And now the man who you want to advise, you started by sidelining the person. So I don't see a PDP crisis ending very soon. It's unfortunate because when it comes to democracy, you can't say we have democracy without the opposition. Now that the opposition is in trouble, it's not a good thing in the political system of the country. So I don't see the crisis. I don't see the crisis ending so soon. Though, from what I read, that the BoT or the governor also adopted that the National Working Committee should call
Governors Forum.
Yeah, Governors Forum should call for a NEC meeting. Let's see if NEC will be able to resolve the crisis in PDP. As it stands now, what the BoT said, up to this moment too, nobody has sworn in Ude-Okoye as the PDP National Secretary. So that is just advisory, and I'm sure it will end there. So the PDP should try to put their house in order. There cannot be a good governance when there is no opposition.
Right.
Those who design democracy give a very crucial role to the opposition to checkmate what the government in power is doing. If we don't have opposition, then the country is in trouble. So the PDP should try as much as they can to put their house in order, to prepare them for the next election, whether they are going to win election or not. But there should be competition, there should be viable opposition in the country. But so far, I don't think that's the end of the crisis in the PDP.
All right, very well. Nze, what do you make of the developments in PDP?
It's a sad one indeed. It's a sad one indeed, and it is expected that PDP by now would have put themselves together to be able to wrestle the next competition that is coming. I call it competition because
why do you call it competition?
To me, it is not. We may not completely see a proper election taking place. So, to me, it is a competition that should be considered do or die for 2027. And you know, Amaechi has said that even some of us are agreeing and some are not agreeing. But looking at what is happening in Rivers in PDP, I think it is illegality upon illegality. The tenure of the caretaker committee of Umar Damago had expired. But somehow some power brokers said no, we still want him to remain. Now, not only the Damago, not only the chairman, even the secretary and the rest of them. And you see, the secretary is now saying nobody will remove me except Supreme Court, because the High Court has removed him, Appeal Court has upheld the judgment of High Court. He said no until Supreme Court decides. And I don't know why Supreme Court is delaying that. They should have given their verdict.
When was it appealed?
Well, I don't know when.
That would be the question. When did the judgment come?
I don't know when it came, but I think there are judgments that Supreme Court should give a speedy hearing.
Okay.
Yes, there are judgments that will come. There are cases that will come. You give it a speedy hearing and see how you settle that, because delaying that judgment will hold Nigeria in a fix.
Chokehold.
Yeah, in a chokehold. But however, we had to look at issues. For the man to say that the BoT has advised that it shouldn't be taken seriously, and also that about 80% of the people that attended the meeting had their tenure expired since October, and you too have your tenure expired last year, and you are still holding strong. simply because some few persons saying you should not
You said
leave.
they will have their tenure
His
expired.
tenure expired. I said that he had his tenure expired last year. But some stakeholders or some power brokers...
You know, their tenure was extended.
That was not, that's what I meant.
That extension actually expires this year. I think it should expire in March of 2025, not last year. It should expire next month.
Now, it was extended that last year now, when it expired.
To expire this year.
But prior to the extension, some people were calling for them to step down.
But it was extended now.
And now, so that is why we are waiting. So if Anyanwu is still insisting on, one is that I would not advise anybody to let his rights be infringed upon. Yes. But let it be that you don't uphold your rights to the detriment of the people.
I have a question, Nze.
All right.
And this question has been, bringing in my head since this crisis started. Now, what year did Senator Anyanwu go to Imo State to run for elections? That was in 2023, yes? And when he went for the Imo Guba elections as an aspirant, that was when the South...
That's 2022.
In 2023. The elections was held in 2023.
Yes, the general election was... But
yes.
What of the primary when he was aspiring?
No, hold on, 2022, okay. Yes. Now, the Southeast Caucus now held elections, and Ude-Okoye emerged as the replacement for Anyanwu. This was in 2023. I need you to follow my thoughts trend so you understand where I'm heading to, the question I'm asking you. This was in 2023. Where was Ude-Okoye all this while? Why was the PDP Southeast Caucus that conducted that election, where have they been all this while? Where were they when Senator Anyanwu lost the Imo Guba elections and came back and reclaimed his seat as the PDP National Secretary? Why didn't Ude-Okoye speak out then? Why didn't Ude-Okoye fight for that seat then? Why didn't the Southeast Caucus speak out then? Who ratified the emergence? Who ratified that election? The decision of the Southeast Caucus. These are the questions, because I know for everything that is done in a political party, there has to be ratification. So who ratified it? Why is this coming now?
And why the force?
Yes, why now? So what exactly is going on? Because it appears that there is more to this than meets the eye.
That is now look at the question very important question you have just raised. And actually, it has not occurred to me to retrospect back to what happened in 2022 and 2023. It just came to my mind now. And we begin to... The same question you asked is a question I believe that Nigerians... I think after now, when we leave the studio, I think I should go back to dig deep into that to know what exactly happened. Why was Ude-Okoye not making noise? Why was he not speaking? And why was the Southeast Caucus, PDP Caucus, silent? Why was the governors for PDP
why didn't the Board of Trustees advise that time and insist that an election has been done? So Ude-Okoye should naturally. Why didn't they, insist that Damagum, even when this tenure elongation was happening, when this particular Damagum and Anyanwu, these particular PDP national executives, because at the end of their tenure, their tenure was still elongated as caretaker. Why didn't Ude-Okoye naturally
switch in?
Yes,
so
exactly.
It is an issue.
These are questions.
I believe that there are some certain things that are beyond us in the now, that some of those people, maybe if we can reach them and ask questions, because it is a very salient question you have raised. Why? And what do they want to achieve in the now?
Considering that Damagum, the tenure of Damagum, his caretaker tenure is actually coming to an end.
Just by next month.
So
and they have fixed.
Is this not much ado about nothing?
They have fixed a date for it. I think that should be 13th or thereabout, 13th of March or thereabout. So and that's what you just raised my curiosity over this now. What really are they going for? But why we keep those things for them to look at? Look at what is before us. PDP crisis. What do they want to achieve? If this crisis continues, because I don't see Damagum quitting in March. I am thinking that he might still have to.
Something else might come up.
That's that. So I don't see him quitting by March. And you see that if Anyanwu, as the national secretary, should leave, Ude-Okoye might not play the script of Damagum. So that might be what...
To all intents and purposes, for Governors Forum, particularly Bala, to be pushing, and then
Bala
the
his pro-governors.
The POT chairman, Wabara, you know, when you follow PDP crisis, you can tell who is on what side.
Yeah.
You can tell who is on the side of Atiku. You can tell who is on this, because the PDP crisis is...
It's just between two sides.
Atiku
and Wike. Nothing else.
So
Atiku
you can actually tell who is on what side, and probably why their decisions are going the way it's going. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, PDP is seriously being balkanized. Seriously being balkanized.
And to the detriment of Nigerian politics. To the detriment of Nigerian politics and the political system. Because if they continue like this, it is likely that in 2027, APC will have a field day. A
smooth run to the 2027.
They'll just have their
but then,
their
you
way.
know, you also,
and some of the PDP states may likely lose out their governorship.
But then strong PDP members in elective positions have started defecting to the APC. Senator Ned Woko, for example, have also defected and even called on the Senate to look into the PDP crisis. It is hilarious, so to speak, because you're asking the Senate. But it is what it is. Yes, Chris, I want to know what you think, because these questions I asked, I think they are begging for answers. What do you have to say about them? The timing of this whole thing, because this happened in 2022, 2023. So why now?
Well, like you said, I have not also taken time to look at the issue. Why Anyanwu went to Imo State to run for the governorship election in 2022. That election conducted in 2022. He left the PDP secretariat. And since then, Ude-Okoye, who was elected by the Southeast Caucus, to replace Anyanwu, didn't take charge up till now that the PDP crisis started. That we saw, nobody heard anything about Ude-Okoye.
Yes,
we just heard Ude-Okoye
suddenly,
because Anyanwu. Some persons want to kick out Anyanwu. So, but it for me, I think, like you said, the crisis is between. It's just two sides. The Atiku and the FCT minister. So because Ude-Okoye is Atiku want first the FCT minister has the national chairman of the party. I think Atiku want to bring in his supporter to take over as the national secretary of the party,
because they are principal officers.
Yeah, they are principal.
At least have one principal officer.
Major principal officer.
At least have one.
They are other principal officers, but these are
major principal officers.
So they want to, because they will play critical role in first in the constitution of the state chapter of the party. You know that in Rivers State, the congresses were conducted. It is the duty of the National Working Committee of the party to rectify those congresses. And in Rivers State, the Atiku supporters were relying on the NWC of PDP not to ratify the congresses
of PDP
Rivers State, to give them opportunity for them to bring in their supporter. I'm sure that's why the crisis is heightened now, because a lot of things need to be done. Once the national secretary, once the principal officers are taken, it will have a lot of consequences on some of the congresses that were conducted at the state level. That's why everybody is trying to show presence at the PDP national secretariat. The congresses that were conducted in some states by PDP are yet to be. There is no official recognition of those congresses. So if you are not present or you don't have control of the NWC, then you will likely lose out in your state. So it has to do with
from state politics. State politics down to the national.
Now, not just that. The PDP, the NEC will take a position. The PDP's, the National Working Committee of the party has a role to play in whoever that is taking over from the party. So it's the politics of who will be the next NWC. That's why you see this whole issue coming up. Who takes what? Because at the NEC, the National Secretary of the party has a role to play, a critical role to play at the NEC. So if you are not the National Secretary of the party or you are not the National Chairman, then you have a lot to lose. That's why they want the article camp want
to get a piece of the cake.
Yes, of course, that's what.
Because Ude-Okoye will play, they will protect the interest of Atiku Abubakar and the Bala Mohammed and the BoT chairman at the National Working Committee level and the NEC level as well.
Yes, at the NEC meeting that the PDP is about to call. So that's why you see this whole issue coming up. But like I said, the crisis in PDP does not seem to. I'm not seeing any end to the crisis. After NEC, you will see
another one will come up.
There will be fresh matter. People will have to go to court for either to challenge the decision of the NEC or to challenge whatever outcome and all that. So the PDP is not ready. I'm not saying the Tinubu keep the APC and the Tinubu-led government keep getting stronger every day.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm not sure of any of this. What is happening in PDP if it's happening in APC, except for
and there is this risk of mass defection of elective officers to very close, yes, by between this year and next year if nothing is done, because at the end of the day people will look for tickets in order to run for elective position, and for them to get that ticket they have to be in the party of their interest at the earliest possible means to impress upon them the need to consider them as flag bearers of that party. Probably that will advise why Ned Nwoko had to defect, because I mean if you buy tickets on the platform of PDP right now, which brings another very interesting angle to what you said. What if at the end of the day this NEC happens and there are litigations against the NEC and this tussle goes on to Supreme Court? And something that played out in River State might play out at the national level, where members still buy tickets to run for election, and very close to the election, the Supreme Court will now give judgment and said everything that happened, the NEC and all that is invalid. Now, what it means is that PDP will lose out from the state to the national.
That's why a lot of persons
are now defecting.
Are leaving PDP. This would have happened in APC, but the then President Buhari, called for NEC meeting, and the NEC members listened to the president, and everybody calmed down. That was how APC was able to resolve the crisis. Don't forget when Adams Oshomole was laying claim to the position of national chairman, and the NEC told him, the president told him to step down as the national chairman of the party, which he did, and that resolved the issue, the crisis in the APC. Now, in the PDP, is between Wike and Atiku, two Timber and Caliban that have ambition. So, who will advise you?
But what if we begin to look at this critical issue now from the viewpoint of the fact that someone is playing another person's script, and who is playing another person's script? We see Wike
Wike is playing the script of APC and PDP. It's not true. There are governors, PDP governors, who are with Wike. The other day, Wike went to see one of the governors who lost the other brother. So, is he not a member of PDP? What will you say that Sheyi is doing? He's saying also part
how
of the
will you ever? How will you ever, in your widest imagination, assume that Sheyi is a patriotic PDP member when we have seen what the role Sheyi played in the five in the 5G?
Atiku at one point left the PDP to APC. So
that is where we have
interesting point.
That's why we have problem with politicians.
But then
that's why we have problem with politicians.
It's also important we also x-ray a certain point that Nze raised, and that is the fact that the FCT minister is working as a minister, is serving as a minister under Tinubu's administration. But then one would say that, I mean, Nigerians have been pushing for inclusive governance, isn't it? You know, after elections, Nigerians will say, you also say that. That has been your mantra as well, isn't it? That we are past politics. This is now governance. It has to be about the people and not about politicians. Now, Wike as an FCT minister, one would say it's not political, but governance on one hand. Now, on the other hand, you know, I recall a certain time when the FCT minister even came to address this matter, and he said, if you are given, for example, he was given that appointment, he didn't just up and move to the FCT. He didn't just accept that appointment. He wrote to the party. PDP gave him permission to function or serve in the capacity of FCT minister. You understand? So it's not like he just stood up, because I think this needs to be out there for that clarification to be made. That PDP actually gave him that permission when he wrote to PDP about that appointment. So PDP is backing the FCT minister up in his appointment as the FCT
by the permission
minister
they gave to him.
Yes, they are backing him up.
Yes,
so,
but look at it. We should also
how is that now
understand.
anti-party?
No, we should also. No, I did not say it is anti-party. I'm just saying that it is likely. It is possible that someone is playing someone's script. But look at, we know that the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. The Bible says so. We know that people can imagine things. People can also, you know, orchestrate things. So, but looking at it the way it is, may God help that PDP wriggles themselves out of this wahala and see how they can form a formidable force in 2027. That is our prayer for them. I'm not a member of PDP, but that's my prayer for them because they're also Nigerians.
All right. Chris, as we round up, what is your final statement?
Like I said, the Wike is an appointee under the president. He's not an appointee of the APC. There is a difference between politics and governance. The time of politics has come and gone. That's the electionary period. Now we have governance. If Wike has what it takes to give to Nigeria, like he's doing in FCT, quality governor, that he belongs to the APC should not count. That he belongs to the PDP should not count. Wike is a member of the PDP. He has not attended any APC function. He's only asking for the right thing to be done. I'm from the south, and the southern part of the country. I know that during the election, Wike said power should come to the south. That is where the issue started in the PDP. That they cannot stop another support another northerner after 80 years of northern president. And Atiku, because of his influence in the party, I don't want to say installed himself as a candidate of the party. And I'm sure that's the genesis of the crisis in the party. So, but like I said earlier, we need opposition. No government can do well in a one-party system. If we allow the APC to run the country the way they like without opposition, then we are set for doom. So there should be a viable opposition. The PDP should try to put their house in order. The two major ways in PDP is between Wike and Atiku. There is no amount of BoT advice that will work until these two heavyweights decide to mend ways. To say, okay, why not we do it like this? Once Atiku resolves his difference with Wike, you will see that the PDP crisis will die a natural death. If not, we will keep seeing litigation upon litigation, and 2027 PDP will fail woefully, and they may end up losing more states and more National Assembly seats. So they should try and put their house in order.
Right.